All right, we are live. We are live. I think this is the quickest turnaround we've had after an event to go straight live and doing the recap, but we're ready. We hope you all are too. UFC Paris is in the books. Nassourdine Imavov versus Caio Borralho is over with. Nassourdine Imavov takes home the unanimous decision. Benoit Saint-Denis in the co-main event upsets Mauricio Hufi. We're going to get into those two fights as well as every single fight on this card. But first off, fellas, let's get your general thoughts on the event. In terms of atmosphere, obviously we all have the same thoughts, but in terms of the fight card as a whole in combination with the atmosphere, what do you guys think?
I mean, it was a fantastic card all around. The atmosphere, we talked about it so much in the preview card, in the preview episode, I should say, how the atmosphere in Paris is unmatched, and they prove it tonight. You heard the French national anthem sang so many times throughout the night, especially on the main card. That BSD Hoofy atmosphere was unreal tonight. Definitely helped get BSD the win. And then the fights, most knockouts ever, tied for the most finishes ever. I mean, are you kidding me? That could easily be one of the best fight cards of the year, if not the best fight card of the year.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. It was pretty impressive in terms of the emphasis that every fighter came out and just wanted to finish their opponent. And I mean, I thought there were definitely going to be a lot more decisions than there were tonight. And there were a lot of upsets, in my opinion, that kind of, I wouldn't say upsets, just fights that didn't really pan out the way us three thought they would. For one, Brad Tavares, two, Gustafsson, three, Hoofy. Yeah, great card though. For me, just a little upsetting. That's the second time in my lifetime that I've ever went under 50% on an entire card in UFC betting. So I've bet on hundreds of cards, and two of them have literally come in not back-to-back months, like months apart. UFC 318 and UFC Paris.
We forgot to put our picks graphic up on socials, and our apologies for that. But I believe
that.
It's all right. It's all right.
I made it. I'll explain what happened. I made it very late last night. I was very tired. I made the graphic. I exported it, and I went to bed. I did not schedule it on Instagram, and then it was too late by the time we realized it. So,
but I was gonna ask if
for that. You can boo me in the comments.
I wasn't gonna go that far. It was gonna be a segue into who won picks this week.
Let me look.
I think we tied, Sam. I think we tied.
I definitely did not win.
Yeah, Chris did not.
Tell you
I
that.
think we.
Because I got Hughes, you got Imavov.
We tied. I believe I picked. If I'm looking at it right now, I believe I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I had 10. So we both had 10 wins. So we were 10-4. Chris, I believe, was 8
I won
and
6. So
yeah,
that's crazy.
So
yeah,
I'm too.
Should have been 7. I hate you, Balaji Oki. How do you not throw straight punches? It was literally right in front of you.
Yeah, we have a lot of thoughts on every single fight, but we're going to start from the from the prelims. There's no early prelims for fight nights, but we're going to start from the prelims, work our way up. First fight of the night, Sam Hughes beats Sean O'Bannon by submission. I got to say, Sam Hughes looked like a true vet out there. Clean performance, stayed ahead of Bannon the whole way, made it look easy. As for Bannon, rough. Still limited, still relying on the same stuff. It just isn't enough at this level. She's got to evolve if she wants to stick around. But I thought it was a clean win from Sam Hughes. From struggling early to now riding a 3-fight win streak and 4 wins in her last 5. I think it's time Sam gets a real step up. And I think that step up is going to come in the form of Angela Hill. That is that veteran litmus test. If Hughes wins that one, we're talking legit top 15 status. So I think Angela Hill versus Sam Hughes should come next. But overall, good, clean work by the vet here in her first fight as a betting favorite in the UFC.
Yeah, and Shrikar, you called it perfectly. I mean, we were wrong about Sean O'Bannon straight up. I mean, it was just an ugly performance. Sam Hughes, the grittier fighter, you said it, Shrikar, just dominated this fight, gets a submission win, and credit to her. I definitely think a big step up is good. I kind of like that Angela Hill matchmaking. I think it's about time. She's now proven that she can win a little bit more. 10-6 was not the best record. Now you go to 11-6. You're on a good win streak right now. Looking a lot better for Sam Hughes, one of the grittier fighters in the flyweight division.
Yeah, no, definitely. Shrikar sent us a little message in our group chat saying that she is pretty much becoming a promising veteran. I mean, I don't really know how far she's going to make it into the rankings of the division, if she even gets there at all, maybe just on the fringe. But
yeah, I agree with that.
I think that she is a good test for a lot of young fighters, and she's shown it just from the people she's beat. Amarim, Lucindo, and we've seen what Yasmin Lucindo's been doing. So that's pretty impressive. And then now Shauna Bannon. I mean, not too many people were impressed with Shauna Bannon before this performance. After this performance, definitely not impressed with her. Me, for one, I kind of just picked her just because I was like, oh, it's a value play. Like she could, cinch up a submission if it was in danger. But I think the funniest part of the fight was when I forgot who the referee was, but Sam Hughes was complaining that Bannon was grabbing the gloves, and the referee stepped in and said, Shauna, like, stop grabbing the gloves. Instantly let go, and she's still looking up at the referee, and Hughes just landed a crazy right hand on her on the floor. And I think Bisping said it. She's like, wow, she wasted no time after that. I was like,
oh, yeah.
Hey, protect yourself at all times. But I thought it was definitely a very impressive win. And yeah, Sam Hughes should be a name to watch out for in the strawweight division. And she should be kind of like a gatekeeper, like a litmus test. Like you guys said, I very much agree.
Yeah, I said flyweight, I meant strawweight, so my bad on that.
The loaded strawweight division always has to get a mention here.
Also, strawweight division has another.
I did some. I'm looking at the MMA Fight Center on ESPN. Shrikar actually won this week. Sam got 9 right, I believe.
I got 9 right. Let me see.
Yeah,
I won.
Yeah, Shrikar won. You went 10 and 3.
Oh no, wait. Yeah, hold on. 1.
What was the tiebreaker? Because I thought he got Nassourdine Imavov. I got Hughes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, I got 9. I think Shrikar.
Yeah.
But Shrikar then got 9 too. Because we only.
Yeah, we had to have tied.
Yeah, we tied.
Oh,
It was a tie.
I thought you won.
Yeah.
No,
we'll take the wins when we get them. This time we tied.
We disagreed on 2 picks, and we went 1-1 on the picks we disagreed each. So,
okay. I mean, yeah, it is what it is. We'll take the wins when we get them, but for now, we're gonna chalk it up as a tie. We'll look forward to Noche. But moving right along, Renat, 60 seconds, done. Chris, that's exactly what this guy needed, huh? We were all high on Gustafsson going into this fight.
Dude, that performance was pathetic. I'm like being straight up. I've never seen what kind of punches was he throwing? They weren't actual punches. He was just flailing his arm at his head. Like I have no idea what the game plan was, and clearly it wasn't a good one because Renat just sat down and threw straights, and that was it.
To be fair, it's the same thing that he did in the Chaos Williams fight.
I guess
it's just Renat is way better at picking that apart than Chaos.
No, yeah, definitely. But I mean, I think he should have just straight up shot takedowns instead of trying to soften him up with those shots and then shoot. I think he would have been so much better off just shooting a takedown and then kind of going from there and working the clinch. He never really gave himself a chance to work the clinch. But props to Renat. It's like this guy's almost unbeatable. It makes no sense to me, but he is. He proves
he'll never lose.
Again. Yeah, he's 24-1-1. Like I really cannot hate on him. So props to you, Renat. I wasn't a believer, and I guess I'm gonna have to start believing because you just do it every single time.
And if you want to talk about believing him, guess what? I believe that his next shot is a ranked shot. I haven't fighted Gilbert Burns. I think I said that in the preview podcast. I think that's a good match. Gilbert Burns needs to fight down a lot. Renat is close to the rankings, and this one was a dominant win against someone who I thought going into this fight was even closer to the rankings. So an easy win. I feel like you're next up in that welterweight division, I feel like, if you're Renat. So I got him fighting Gilbert Burns. I think that's a great test for him to see, can he really be this guy that this hyped up prospect that we've been talking about for a while. I mean, not necessarily prospect, but a guy that's been dominant, or are his wins kind of just fringe wins, which we also talked about. This one, definitely not a fringe win, but a test against Gilbert Burns. That's going to be a good one for both of them. Burns needing to fight down really badly.
Gilbert Burns, interesting. Okay, Gustafsson, yeah, he got clipped early, tried to recover, but Renat didn't let him. Now I agree. It's ranked opponents or bust. He's got to get that shot now. As for Gus, might be time to think about middleweight. That kind of knockout reaction screams to me tough weight cut. He had a very tough weight cut because the first shot that Renat landed, he became so reactive to the point where I feel like he just wasn't in it. And when the fluid around your brain's low, it really doesn't take much to just get wobbled like that, like straight off the bat.
Yep.
But I do agree. Renat has been knocking on the door. Now it's time to see what he can do against the ranked welterweights. I wasn't going to go Gilbert Burns, though. I think Jeff Neal makes all the sense. Battle-tested, dangerous. I think this is exactly the kind of fight to see if Renat is really ready for the big dogs. You know, I think Gilbert Burns honestly would be a pretty good matchup. But I think Jeff Neal, in terms of how much of a banger it would end up being, I think would be pretty fun. And obviously Jeff Neal's in a spot where just got knocked out by Carlos Prates. He has to fight down and he has to fight out of the rankings. So I think Gilbert Burns is in that position where he might be looking for something a little bit more favorable as he's reaching the tail end of his career. But Jeff Neal, he's going to be game for it, and I think he'll be good to go. So Renat versus Jeff Neal, definitely make that happen. I think that has to be next.
I hate Jeff Neal either. I think both of those guys work out. I have Jeff Neal fighting either Jake Matthews or Muslim Salikov, so they're very similar. Like one of those, they're both Jeff Neal and Gilbert Burns are in similar positions. Battle-tested guys I need to fight down.
Yeah, and with Jake Matthews, it obviously depends what happens between him and Neil Magny. We'll see if he gets out of there with a win. We're going to get to someone who called out Neil Magny in just a little bit, but let's get to the parlay buster himself, Robert Brycek. Smoked my lay. I had Tavares in, I think, like two parlays I had, but Robert Brycek looked way better this time out than he did against Ihor Potieria. Sam, what'd you think of the performance? I guess none of us really saw this coming out of him, but good win, huh?
Yeah, a great win. I mean, he dominated this fight. I felt like he landed the majority of the strikes throughout the fight, just kept striking in and ended up in a knockout TKO win. So at the end of the day, I mean, definitely very impressive. Tavares just did not show up. I believe we all predicted Tavares. I predicted Tavares by decision. I don't necessarily know if that's what you guys predicted. But yeah, I mean, make quick work of him. Brycek is, I mean, it's a good win for him. He needed it badly. So I think that's all I'll say. Impressive win. Definitely one I did not see coming.
Yeah. I thought Tavares' fight IQ would play a little bit more into it, and I think he was just overwhelmed. I did mention on the predictions that Brycek, he's very athletic, does have hands, and he has knockout power, and he really showed it. He didn't leave anything to the imagination and just came out, did his job. And sometimes fight IQ gets kind of, trying to think. I want to say overwhelmed. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? It gets suppressed. Fight IQ gets suppressed by just straight up power and like, I guess, technique. So yeah, Brycek did a very good job of that. And I think we need to start talking about Polish MMA. These guys are crazy. Like, they really have some amazing fighters, and they did before, but now I feel like there's more of a recent influx of Polish MMA fighters coming into the UFC. And even Robert Ruhala today, even though he lost to William Gomis, and we'll get into that a little bit later, he looked solid. Like, Gomis is just a very good fighter, so it's hard to do that. But yeah, I think Polish MMA is really on the rise, and I love to see it. And now Michal Olechechuk's brother getting into the UFC on Contender Series on Tuesday too. Just another Polish prospect, so something to keep our eye on. But yeah,
speaking of which, it was a shameless plug. I have to shameless plug real quick, but we're going to be live on Tuesday night, Contender Series. Go watch that real quick. Sam, go ahead.
Definitely.
I was also going to say, they haven't been to Poland since 2017. Another location the UFC should go back to, in my opinion. There's a lot of Polish fighters coming
Bring
up.
Joanna out of retirement.
Yo, that would be crazy, man. But Jan Blachowicz, I mean, Gamrot, we might hear a little bit about Gamrot later. Tybura, I know he lost today, but there's a lot of Polish MMA fighters. I think it's very important.
Yeah, I did not think we were going to see this kind of leap from Robert Brycek, but he pulled it off. Yeah. Started sharp in round 1, stumbled a bit in round 2, but rallied like a pro in round 3. It's real growth. Feels like we're seeing the new version of him, and it might just stick. We'll see if they end up making a Poland card. Maybe he could be an eventual main card fighter on that potential fantasy card. But moving on, Sam Patterson.
Dog.
He is a long man. Pause. Very, very lanky guy. But he is the best lanky guy. This was one of those like awkward, fun matchups where both guys were like, "Oh, we're actually the same size. Wow, would you look at that?" Patterson just looked dialed in from the jump. Chill. I already said pause. I think that encompasses the next pauses that come in the next 30 seconds.
I was gonna find the Drewski meme, but I was too lazy.
But again, Patterson looked dialed in from the jump. Clean defense, footwork, jabs. Slowly broke Waters down over time. Great growth from him. Big future ahead. Honestly, Patterson called out Neil Magny, but I think he might be better off without the Neil Magny fight that he called for, because I want him to fight up into the rankings already. I think Daniel Rodriguez is still a dangerous guy, and he's been loosely linked to Gabriel Bonfim, so we know he's not moving up the rankings just yet, or he's not fighting up like crazy. So I think this is a perfect test for Patterson right now. You do Patterson versus D-Rod. Just from the way things are looking with what matchmaking is going on with the welterweight division, I think it makes some sense.
Definitely. I definitely agree. I think he's definitely like just a little bit better off without Neil Magny. That's a great way to put it, because I think he can honestly fight a little bit of better competition than Neil Magny, in my opinion. Like, I feel like Patterson is just, I don't want to say more proven than Jake Matthews, but I would like to see Jake Matthews in that sort of fight rather than Sam Patterson. Like, I think Sam Patterson would overwhelm Neil Magny, because Neil Magny's whole Aspinall's next hats are same tier level as
they're pretty bad. They're pretty bad.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a little bit interesting. It was a little interesting to see that, but hey, his boy Ante won, so we'll get into that in a minute. But I think Sam Patterson versus Neil Magny would be almost like looking in a mirror. And obviously Sam Patterson's a little bit of a better striker, a little more power, younger. But Neil Magny's big advantage against fighters is his length and size. And that's really where he's able to make most or create most of his damage and create submission attempts, things like that. So I think if you put him against Sam Patterson, he would I think he'd get smoked at this age in his MMA career. But I would like to see Sam Patterson fight someone just a little bit more, young, has a little more spry, like has a little more pep in their step. But regardless, great win. Just really took it to Trey Waters.
Aspinall going to graduate to a bad face that real soon. I feel it coming, homie.
Nah, I don't think so. I hope not. Please.
If he went to the next set, then
yeah, I guess anything's possible.
Anything's on the books now. He's already got the whole back covered. I don't think he has anything on the front side. I don't study Tom Aspinall's tattoos like that. So I don't really know.
I'll do some film study right now. Sam, what did you think of the fight?
Yeah, I mean, I think Sam Patterson, we said it was two lanky guys, and he made quick work of Trey Waters. I really like where he's at. I think a ranked shot right now is a little too early right now, considering how stacked welterweight is. I think there are a lot of better guys better than him. We talked about Renat earlier. I think that's a much better guy at welterweight. Jake Matthews, a lot better. Muslim Salikov, a lot better. Even Kevin Holland in the who's he fighting again? He's fighting Mike Malott.
Yeah,
I would put those guys ahead. I would put those guys ahead of Sam Patterson just now. It's a good win. He's on a good track, but there's a lot more to go before a ranked shot. So I really don't agree that he's ready for a ranked shot just yet. Settle down a little bit, let him win a few more, and then give him the ranked shot after. There's a lot of promise, though, I will say.
I think he's ready. Sam Patterson's really good.
I think this is recency. I think this is just pure recency bias. He won a dominant fight. He is a great fighter. Do not get me wrong. This is not any disrespect to Sam Patterson, but there is a lot you have to do, I feel like, to get a ranked shot.
Since he got knocked out by Yanal Ashmouz in 2023, he submitted Johan Lines, submitted Kiefer Crosby, knocked out Danny Barlow, and now knocked out Trey Waters.
I love Danny Barlow.
It's impressive.
It's a good resume.
Oh, it's a great resume. Don't get me wrong. I think the other guys ahead of him have even better resumes and have fought better opponents more recently than Sam Patterson has. And that's what, for me, if you fight better opponents and you keep winning fights and you have a better resume, that's what gives you a ranked shot. But he's close. Do not get me wrong. He is close.
We'll see. I mean, Sam Patterson himself didn't really call for the ranked shot if he's calling for Neil Magny. So I guess he agrees with you, Sam, in this case. But I'm ready to face this guy. He's solid. Another guy that's very solid
Well, wait. All right. Do you see this? He has a Roman Colosseum tattooed on him.
Is that a Roman Colosseum?
I think so. I think that's a gladiator.
Something
it looks like
that.
the Colosseum. Sorry, I was doing film study. I was prompted to.
He was gazing at Tom Aspinall's tattoos while we were talking about.
They're kind of fire. Also, wait. The Aspinall tap to a lame heel hook in BAMMA. Speaking of that, I saw a crazy thing before that I did not know. Back to Renat Fakhretdinov for 1 second. Did you guys know that he was in a jiu-jitsu match against Craig Jones recently?
That
is crazy.
Dude, Craig Jones has been fighting everyone though.
Dude, oh my god, what he did.
Craig Jones and Gordon Ryan will fight.
What he did to Chael Sonnen was messed up.
Do you guys think the 2026 CBS deal going to mean shows start and end a bit earlier? These pay-per-view cards go too late, in my opinion, homie. Like to 1:30 a.m. East Coast, I need to get my beauty sleep, bro.
I hope, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Start at the same time and end when they just. The thing is, you can't really control when a card ends because. What are you gonna jump in the ring and tell them, yo, just knock him out, bro?
We're knock him out. Yeah, they're not gonna do that.
But I mean, there is a general time frame around which they're done. You know, like usually takes 2.5 to 3 hours to finish a pay-per-view card.
I'm trying to think what was the longest pay-per-view we've watched. Like I remember one pay-per-view ended at like
UFC 315 was long.
Yes, it might have been
was long. 299 was very long.
Yeah,
299 was long. Yeah, there's only been a handful that have ended like
318 was pretty long too.
130. But yeah, it's just very hard. So
CBS is definitely cool with it the way that they're paying.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like
cool.
if you're, I feel like they'll be
because also if you have that time TV slot, you got it. So
the only that and I feel like. In that scenario, it's not like an NFL game where there's like a very general time that it's going to end. Like they're not going to be air because in the NFL, it's like, oh, after the game, watch a new episode of this show airing now. Like they're not going to be airing episodes at like 2 a.m. It's just either reruns or like paid promotion shows.
Yeah.
So I don't think that that's really going to affect it.
Yeah, primetime hours are the key here. They're always going to target primetime hours, especially now that you have audiences globally watching on streaming services. I think that's going to be the way that it goes. But let's get back on track here. Let's move right on.
Sorry, I got
next fight up on the prelims. No more Tom Aspinall neck tat talk. Caio Fernandez talk. Caio Fernandez just put on a masterclass. Chris, I'm gonna let you start here. I think that was just a ruthless and efficient performance.
Yeah, Harry Hardwick did everything that I didn't want him to do.
Oh my god.
I mean, credit to you for stepping in on 5 days notice against a very good striker, lethal striker. I just thought there was going to be a little bit more wrestling, and it looked very weird. As soon as Harry came out, he just didn't look good. Like not even like before he even took the first shot, he was just moving very awkwardly. Like he kind of like just got off the couch from a weight cut and just tried to cut weight instantly. But I mean, props to Caio. Like that was a insane performance. I've never seen anyone leave the octagon in a wheelchair because of leg kicks. I think if I took one of those, my leg would be shattered. So the fact that he took multiple and was able to still somewhat limp on his feet and he was still throwing punches. Like he was not giving up until, you got to lay down. But I think Bisping called Caio Fernandez a Brazilian lumberjack. And I think that's the perfect way to describe him. That was
chopped hard.
However, I do want to see that Ziam fight. Whenever Ziam comes back, I think that is the fight to make. Caio also took no damage, so you can make that fight whenever you want. Obviously, give Ziam the time to come back and acclimate himself after dealing with such a hard situation. I think that's still the fight to make. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Absolutely the fight to make. Have Ziam fight Caio Fernandez. And by the way, can we just talk about the fact the Herb Dean let him die memes for this fight?
Yeah, dude, I was like, how?
He was on the ground.
As soon as he started limping, I thought he was going to call it, but yeah,
it's too.
Fernandez walks away. It's just like, bro, do you? And Herb doesn't call the fight, and he's like, he literally looks at Herb. He's like, bro, do you see this guy? He literally like waved at Herb. I'm like, nah, I'm not.
Yeah, no, Caio was just he was just standing there with his hands up like this. He's like, bro, come on. Like, come on.
Also, credit to him for not beating beating the dead bush or the dead man, whatever the saying is. But
no super
beat a dead horse
punches here.
Being the dead horse, being the dead horse. My bad.
I feel like you got beat a dead horse and beat around the bush mixed up.
Beat around dead bush is weird. I got that mixed up. But good credit for him for not being the dead horse. But yes, give him that Ziam fight.
Yeah. Again, Brazilian lumberjack said it perfectly. Just chopped Hardwick down like it was light work. Tough break for Hardwick though, man. He ran into a buzzsaw. He didn't do much wrong. He just got caught.
He should have wrestled. He didn't even try and wrestle. I think that was his clear path to victory, and he didn't even attempt it.
Yeah,
he just got caught by a savage technician on a good night.
Definitely.
Nothing but respect for both guys, but I do agree.
That was
I think Cali Fernandez versus Perez Ziam should be.
That did not shape up to be a good lone wolf pick, but
it's okay. It's okay, man. We win some, we lose some. This is one where we definitely won. Ante D'Elia.
Yeah. Timeout. You can hold it, Shrikar.
Welcome to the UFC, man. This was long overdue, and he made it count. Marcin Tybura was a tailor-made matchup for him, and D'Elia proved exactly why. Controlled the clinch, stayed composed. When it was time to go, he found the finish. The dude has been a killer outside the UFC for years. Now he's here, and this division better take notice, man. This guy is really, really good. Again, the UFC badly needed a heavyweight like him to show up and make noise. So, question is, what do you do with a guy like that? I think you throw him in with a monster. And then the name of the monster I'm thinking of is Sergey Pavlovich. This has all the makings of a classic heavyweight slugfest. I think someone's going to sleep in this fight. I won't give you my early lean, but I do have a favorite. So I'll just say that. But Ante D'Elia, again, finally in the UFC, and we're all glad that he's here.
So I gave that look of disgust because at first I hated it. I was like, what? Because Pavlovich is, I think Pavlovich is one away from a title. And I'm not 100% sure D'Elia is. But now I'm thinking about it. And I mean, he dominated that fight against Tybura today. And he's legit, man. I don't hate it. I still am going to go with my original matchmaking predict. The guy that Sergey Pavlovich beat, Waldo Cortez Acosta. I think that's a better step up. A little more.
It's so interesting. I think I would matchmake Tybura against Waldo Cortez Acosta.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
That's funny. Nonetheless, I think it's a dominant win. And I feel like this is, we talked about fighters coming in from different promotions and not performing. D'Elia stepped up to the plate, man. And and honestly, Shrikar, to your point about Pavlovich, I wouldn't be shocked if they put him against Pavlovich because they need heavyweight prospects badly. And D'Elia is one of them. By the way, tomorrow on TikTok and Instagram, you can follow right here. You're going to see the poem that Shrikar wrote about how this fight would go down. It was picture perfect. What's the award they give to poets or like literature? Like give him like a Nobel Prize or whatever they do for. I don't know if there's like a poet award or anything. But give him like a Nobel Prize or something for that.
I appreciate that.
Well, wait, would it be a Pulitzer?
I just be talking for real.
Well, yeah, Pulitzer. It would be.
Yeah,
I think
Pulitzer's like writing.
Yeah, it's like writing.
You know what? Let's just call it the Shrikar Award.
I appreciate it. I literally just be talking. What's up, Vinayak? How you doing, man?
That was a great card tonight. But yeah, I think it's a good win and impressive. They need that badly. UFC does
for sure. There aren't any good pay-per-views rest of this year, in my opinion.
320 and 322 about to go crazy.
320. I think disproves that point already.
I think 320 disproves that take. I think 321 disproves that. I don't like
how you.
I think 322
I don't like the main event results. I don't like how the main event dictates if a pay-per-view is good or not. I don't think that's true.
That too.
Yeah,
also, I think more so Marab versus Sandhagen is more predictable than Ankh and Alex. I think Alex.
Yes,
he stands a really good shot. So I don't know.
I think Alex stands a good shot. I think Islam JDM. I could see that going either way. I could. See
we just announced MSG. That's going to be a banger pay-per-view.
Yeah, I could see both fights on MSG going either way. I could also see the strawweight Yandaroba and Mackenzie Dern on 321 going.
Okay, that's a fight that I think is terrible. But
it's a terrible fight, but it could go either way.
Bro, 320 main event is super predictable. Give me a break. Elaborate, bro. Give me a reason. Alex's ground game is on grandma tier level, homie.
And,
well, the thing is, Ankalaev did not take him to the ground.
0 takedowns out of 12 attempts. So what does that mean?
Yeah. And also, think about it. That was Ankalaev's best performance, and that was Alex's worst performance in the UFC octagon.
Yo, Vinayak, I'm with that, bro.
Much better.
I'm with that.
Might just finish him. Sanhagen will beat Merab via walking out to Imavov.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Oh god, that might be his best shot. It might be, but nah. The main event results are not predictable for one, and it shouldn't be the deciding factor of whether a full pay-per-view is good. 320 is stacked to the gills. You got Yuri and Khalil as your featured bout. You got Abus versus Joe Pyfer. That's going to be a good fight. What else is on there? Yusuf Zalal and Josh Emmett is going to be a good fight as well.
Banger.
Honk uses the takedown threat to limit Alex's striking, but I think Alex is going to be way better prepared for it this time. Way better.
He will be. I think that. I mean, it's not. It's the same time he had to prep for the last Ankalaev fight. Exact same time, actually, 6 months in between. No, not 6 months. It was 5 months for the first one. I think it's 7 months for this one. Still a little more time, but still, I think Ankh is still Pereira is still one of the best fighters in the UFC, and I think it could that fight really could go either way. It's not predictable, unlike the 321 main event. Do I think Del Bronx is going to club and sub Fiziev, or do I think Del Bronx is done? I think Del Bronx can get that done against Fiziev. Fiziev's win against Bahamondes was impressive, but I think against an Oliveira, it would not get by.
Hey, Rick, I love Rafael Fiziev, and I think that's my early lean. It's just too quick of a turnaround, man. I just think it's way too quick of a turnaround for Charles Oliveira. But, yeah, I that's my early lean as of right now. But obviously our predictions are going to come later for that Brazil card. Let's move on here. Or actually, Chris, did you even get to talk about Ante, man?
About Ante Delia?
Yeah.
Probably not. I don't really remember.
You have any final thoughts?
I mean, I just think that he looked amazing. He really came out and showed that he trains with the heavyweight champion of the world, and that it's just that simple. Like, and Shrikar, I was just very impressed about your prediction, and you laid it out perfectly. And Ante left nothing to the imagination. But the one thing that is that I'm a little bit weary of is if he does work his way to the top, I think we're going to have an Aljo Merab situation again, because Aspinall said he would never fight someone that has slept in his house before. And that is
Ante Delia.
Ante Delia
they're good friends.
One of his best friends. So it's going to be very interesting to see that. I think that's something to look out for. So I don't. If we're gonna,
that's crazy.
There's no division for Delia to move down.
That's what I'm saying. Like
or Aspinall.
There's literally.
But also, Ante Delia is 36. Do you think he's in here to just get some checks and then bounce, or like?
No, he's there for the title. And Tom,
exactly. And
I think Tom is good, like good enough friends with him where he's like, you know what, Ante, this is your one shot. I'm gonna give it to you, but you got to take me down. And I respect the hell out of you. Just like
I hope so.
Simple. Just put it simply, because Ante Delia is not coming to the. I actually think I think that would hurt the friendship to not fight than to fight, because if you're Ante Delia, you can't move down or up.
Right.
Aljo had the opportunity to move up if he wanted to.
That's
same with Merab.
Scenario.
Yeah, it's a different scenario. I think this is you're coming to the UFC for the title, and your best friend has the title. If you want to be a good friend, you give him that chance to fight for the title, and you go blow for blow with each other. At the end of the day, you can reprimand those relationships later. At the end of the day, you can repair that.
I definitely agree with that. Yeah, it honestly might be worse for the friendship if Aspinall didn't fight him. But yeah, regardless, they have tremendous amounts of respect for each other. Delia looks 35, is 35, looks minimum 55. Yeah, he does look older. I think he's just battle tested. And clearly he's been through wars. A man of war. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Great job from Delia. Very, very, very impressed.
He's not too old. He's probably, if he beats Sergey, I mean, as I have it, if he beats Sergey or whoever's up next for him,
Waldo or Sergey would be good.
I don't think Waldo would get him a title shot.
I want to see him fight Sergey.
Waldo would not give him
Sergey needs someone to test him.
So if you're the UFC and you want to fast track him to a title, you give him Sergey. If you're like, oh, he needs to prove a little bit more, he was favored against Tybura, give him Waldo. That's how I see it. And I think right now I think right now the next fight, I mean, you have Volkov and Almeida. You can't forget about Derek Lewis and Curtis Blades. I know that's not really an exciting fight. If I'm gonna
that might be a title eliminator.
Well, that's the thing. It might be a title eliminator, and it's one I'm not very excited about because frankly, if Tom Aspinall is going to kick their ass, I don't care who it is. Yeah. Derek Lewis maybe if he gets if Tom Aspinall makes one mistake, Derek Lewis can capitalize on it. But
yeah, but
Tom, I don't think that's happening.
Derek Lewis, like
yeah.
But this is the problem with the heavyweight division. Even when we get like contenders, it's like, okay, we get Ante, but Ante trains with Aspinall. So like now it's cooked. Yeah. But overall, it was a good performance. We expect Ante D'Elia to be fighting again, hopefully pretty soon. If the guy is 36, we need to get as many fights under his belt as we can, especially if he has title hope dreams. Another guy that wants to move on up in the light heavyweight division, Umar Sy. First off, I think this is a good place to say we need more UFC cards in France. It was this fight where I was like, this crowd is absolutely nuts. They were going crazy for Umar Sy. This was the first matchup where it was actually France versus Brazil, and I think every single fan in the audience picked up on that. It's pretty crazy. But Umar Sy, man, he fed off it like a monster. Switched up the game plan from his last fight against Alonzo Menafield, turned up the urgency, just dominated from bell to bell, technically sharp. But this time he hunted for the finish, and it showed. Clean, controlled, very relentless. I'm in on Umar Sy still. I think he can be really, really good. I think the Menafield fight was a good learning experience for him, and I expect him to make some waves going into the future. Yeah, this was just a dominant win overall. And I mean, we said Umar Sy needed this win badly, and he showed up tonight. I honestly thought he was going to show up in a big way, and he did just that. I think if you want to talk about a guy next for him, I'll matchmake him. I think you give him. There's two guys really. You could give him a Bukauskas who fought on this card coming up. Really? You'd have Bukauskas fight down again?
That's my issue. That's just an option right now. The other one you could go Zhang Mingyang. That's another one. I'm just throwing some guys out there that are in or close to the rankings. I could see either happening, but
maybe like a Yankute Laba, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
He needs one more.
He's one more away from the rankings, but it's a good win overall. That's point being, it's a good win. There's a lot of options he can fight. Light heavyweight's going to get a huge shakeup in the next month with title fights, people losing. There's a lot of upcoming fights in light heavyweight. So once the dust is all settled, we're going to have a lot more clarity in the light heavyweight division.
I agree. I think it was definitely a very good win from Umar Sy. Seeing him in another minus 700 roll, but actually coming through this time, not feeling the pressure of the moment. I think it was just definitely a different scenario. Brenjison Ribeiro and Alonzo Menafield are in two different classes in terms of fighter and career trajectories. And no disrespect to Brenjison, he'll find his way eventually. He's been an underdog in every single UFC fight that he's ever fought in, and the average closing line is plus 300. So that's kind of interesting to look at. But yeah, Umar Sy, he did hunt for the finish this time, which I was very happy to see. The one thing that I just want to see a little bit more of is he looks very tentative on the feet. He's almost scared of trading and getting knocked out. Because notice when he gets in those little clashes and when they meet in the middle and Brenjison looks like he's going to throw back, Umar Sy is very contented going for the takedown, even when he's leading the dance. I think that I just want to see a little bit more of him trying to press the issue on the feet, because he's a great kickboxer. We've seen it. He's very sharp, technical. He'll go to the legs and he'll go to the head. But it just seems like he's a little bit scared on the feet. But obviously, if you can take him down and do what you did today, then fighting on the feet doesn't matter. But you're going to run into someone that you're not going to be able to take down like that, and they're going to press the issue to you in the stand-up game. And I think he has the tools to be very good at it. He just needs to kind of get over that hump. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I just felt like it was he was just a little bit hesitant still. Just like the Menifield fight.
Yeah, I think he'll get that confidence back after a win. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Because you can tell he lost a lot of confidence.
But also, that's kind of the threat you walk into with Brenderson Ribeiro. You can't be throwing all wild. Like, I feel like he's the type of guy where, like, you kind of have to play it very calculated. With Alonzo Menifield, it's a little different because technical can fade at times when you're fighting Alonzo Menifield and he's just bringing the fight to you. Brenderson Ribeiro is not a guy that'll bring the fight to you necessarily, but he's always going to, like, be in the center of the octagon.
Yeah, he just swings.
And that's a technical guy's dream. Like, you want to stay in the center.
Right.
UFC going to trot Paul Craig out there to get brutally knocked out a couple more times. He retired in the cage. We're going to get to that in a second. But Umar C, man, that was a good win.
Yeah. All these comments we'll get to. BSD Gamera, I have some thoughts on that. Stay tuned. Talk about Gamera later. I will get to those. We will get to those comments when we move up to the main card, which we can actually move on to the main card now.
Yeah. William Gomis versus Robert Ruhala. This was the first decision of the night.
And it was a banger.
It was straight fire. This was a banger of a fight. I don't think they handed out a bonus for fight of the night. They just gave out 4 performance bonuses. I'll try to pull it up. It was BSD, Caio Fernandez, who else? Mason Jones and Ante Delia, which I think all deserved. I think they nailed it with all those bonuses. But I think if there was a fight of the night, I think Gomis and Ruhala would be up there. I don't necessarily think it should have won, but I love William Gomis in these kinds of matchups. You throw an aggressive dog at him, and he shows us something special. Win or lose, the guy shines in these chaotic matchups. And as for Ruhala, I was hoping the awkwardness was kind of hiding some elite level skill, but it's looking more like that's just his thing. And I think Funky does get you far, but it doesn't get you all the way. So I get that was my thoughts on the fight, but Gomis once again proving that under pressure, this guy is a diamond.
Speaking of under pressure, off topic, South Florida beats Florida in the swamp. Shout out to the American viewers. Felt like I would give you that update. Big upset.
Dude, Byron Brown is legit.
Yeah, the Bulls, man.
The Bulls.
Anyway, sorry, back to UFC, because speaking of under pressure, Gomis, Ruhala, I mean, that was just a very good good fight overall. A lot of pressure on both of these guys, and Gomis really pulled it out, gets that decision win. Just a banger fight overall. He's close to the featherweight rankings, man. I'll tell you that much. I like where he's at. He's in the right trajectory, gets a good win in Paris. I would not be surprised if he gets a ranked fight next. I'll have to look a little bit more matchmaking. Obviously, we went live right after the card, so not too much. But you could look at like a Dan Ige or Giga Chikadze as a few options. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I no offense, but the only reason Gomis is on the main.
Also, because Kita Pitbull fell out.
Yeah,
Kita Pitbull
this
fell
was
out.
supposed to be the featured prelim, but yeah, Kita
I believe these next 3 fights. 2 fights were. I think the main card was supposed to be 5. Am I tripping?
No, yeah, Axel Sola and Reese McKee was supposed to be on the.
It was going to be Kita Pitbull, and then this Zion was Fernandez. Supposed to be Zion Fernandez. So a little bit of mixing and matching, but the UFC's fairly good at that. But I think Gomis, he just always pulls it out, and it's in an impressive way. Like, don't get me wrong, he reminds me of almost a smaller Lerone Murphy. In terms of just, he's very technical, and he makes you pay for your shot selection. And if you're coming in like Ruchala or is it Ruchala? I know in Poland
Ruhala,
right? Yeah, Ruhala. I know in Poland it's like the ch is like a ha sound.
Polish names, don't get me started, man. The only reason I quit.
The only reason I thought that is because of Michal Olechechuk, and it's spelled like Michel, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I'm babbling. But yeah, Ruhala, he comes in and he swings like a wild man, and he was doing solid. He did very good at shooting takedowns at the right moments. He actually racked up a decent amount of control time in the first 2 rounds, which I was impressed with. But Gomis, he just stays very composed and calm under pressure and works his way to the fence, stands up, uses, his surroundings to his advantage. And when Ruhala swings like a madman, he makes you pay. He tags you. And sometimes it's not the most powerful shots that hurt you, like really hurt you the most. It's the ones that are just timed correctly. And I think that's what Gomis does a great job of, is just landing the perfect shot at the perfect time. And it could just even be like a light tap, a light jab. Those add up tremendously. And he always does it. And even his loss against Haider Emil was just a very, very close. It was a very close fight. He might have even done enough to edge it out. I need to go back and watch that. That was a little while ago, but still, I think he's going to be very good in this division. Like, he will be someone to look out for.
Did you all see that the guy who missed weight offered Pitbull his entire purse for the fight to go on?
Pitbull,
I agree with Pitbull.
Pitbull's a duck.
I agree with Pitbull in this case. There's just no way I'm taking it. Like, it's your job to make weight. You had every single advantage. Pitbull came to France on jet lag, still made weight, and Kita missed by 4 pounds or whatever it was. But
yeah, he's got to move down. He's got to move up to lightweight, I think, for your next fight. You can maybe make that happen. You could make that happen, but I feel like if you miss weight your first fight, look what they just did with Brian Battle. Comes to the UFC, misses weight twice, and is out.
Yeah. Okay, wait. I can matchmake for Gomis though.
Yeah.
What if we did? Or sorry, Chris, go ahead.
Oh no. Also, Brian Battle's in the PFL now. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, I signed with the PFL
after his dirty boxing debut.
That
was kind of funny. I mean, good for him. Look, if he gets his weight under control, he should be back in the UFC. But I think he needs to make weight probably at least like 5-6 times before.
He just has to. He's the stack wins and make weight.
Exactly. And he could be one of their premier athletes, like in the PFL. So that's a great sign for them taking a chance. But
100%. Like if he gets like maybe 4 wins in PFL, he'll probably come back.
If he could run that tournament's kind of wide open. So
100%.
Be interesting.
What do y'all think of William Gomis and Nathaniel Wood?
I like that.
I don't hate it.
I think that's a very good clash of styles.
Both of them way better than people give them credit for.
Yeah.
At 145, Gomis is sitting at 5-1. I believe Wood's 9-3. Both guys are right on the fringe of the rankings. Honestly, that fight would be a coin flip for me. Gomis would beat Wood easily, to be honest. I don't know. Nathaniel Wood is really good.
Nathaniel Wood is really good. Yeah. He's a decisionator too. And actually, I think decisionators.
I think whoever wins that gets into the rankings, though. I'm not gonna lie. I think that fight would be like, all right, you punch your ticket into the top 15, potentially.
Or like, what about? Oh no. I was gonna say something. Oh, could be. What about like a Joe Anderson Brito, who's a little bit on a slide?
That could be good.
I think Wood would be good though, because that also you could definitely do that in England or like where like you can do that in Europe because that plays to both guys' nationalities. So if you do it in London, trying to think where else, like just any other European card, really. I think I noticed, well, obviously you want to get hometown guys or people from the region on the card. That gives you a little bit of room to work with. Yeah.
I think you can go either way, but I just saw Wood and Gomis were pretty close to each other in the rankings, so that's where I was going to lean. But moving right along, Axel Sola. My dude jumps up a weight class on short notice. I'm not
howling. I went 1-2 on Lone Wolf picks. It was
I was gonna say you can't howl.
Yeah, no, it's all right.
Jumps up a weight class on short notice and finishes one of the toughest guys at welterweight. What'd y'all think of that performance?
I thought Axel Sola looked good. He had a few moments where it's like, oh no, is he gonna fade? And Reese McKee, give him credit, man. He is tough as nails. He was eating some crazy shots, but. Yeah, I think Sola did a very good job staying composed, picking his shots, and just kind of bobbing in and out. Like he would stick and move. And that's exactly what you want to do against someone like Reese McKee. And it was almost interesting because I think McKee, who was actually the longer and bigger guy, had more or he was more advantageous in the shorter exchanges, which should not happen at all. Like usually the longer guy does better in kind of the distance striking, but in the clinch and things like that, Reese McKee was really tagging him. But I think Sola did a good job of, moving around, not staying in one place, giving Reese McKee kind of like target practice. And I mean, McKee was busted up from the first round. And after that, Sola just kind of turned it up. And in the third round, hit him with nasty body shots. And I know McKee was upset about the stoppage, but I think it was a good stoppage because once you fold over like that from the referee's standpoint, you're already you're knocked down. Like how are you going to defend yourself? You're kind of just hunched over and just eating shots, like trying to cover up. So I thought it was a very, very, very big, what's the word I'm trying to use? I think it was a very nice impression that Axel Sola made in the UFC. And it wasn't even in his natural weight class. Mm-hmm. That's the scary part. Him at lightweight is going to be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it.
He looked good, man. I kind of told you how this fight would go. If McKee, if Sola can finish the fight off strong, he wins. That's exactly what he did, a third round knockout. So I told you so. I thought McKee would do a little too much early on. It would be a little too late for Axel Sola, but he proves me wrong. Now he's going to move back up a division, and I think he's on a good track right now, man.
Sola beats Aspinall to the walkout aura. Yo, I noticed that. This guy was walking out to like Mozart. Like, it was crazy.
I don't know if you guys know, but Axel Sola can actually play like full classical ballads on the piano.
Oh, that's crazy.
And he's like a world-class chess player too. So this guy can do everything.
This dude's literally Magnus Carlsen. Yeah, it's crazy.
Who can kill people?
Insanity, man. Both guys put on a banger. I thought that was on that should have taken home fight of the night, to be honest.
I think so.
I thought Sola won the first 2 rounds clean, and in the third, man, those combos were butter. Like that head kick was beautiful. The body work was nasty. Maybe not a perfect stoppage, but I get why Herb stepped in. Huge win. The dude looked massive in there against McKee, though. But if he wants to stick around at lightweight, I think you got to ease him in the right way. Ooh, I think you give him like a Jai Herbert. Like no easy out. He's tough. He's scrappy.
You know who I want to see him fight?
Oh God,
I want to see him fight Ribovics.
That would be a banger.
That'd be a banger, but
no, you know
I've already matched
what Vinayak
with like
said.
2 other people.
Sola versus Mangus and chess boxing.
Chess boxing.
That'd be hard.
So
good.
Every time you click the timer, you have to stand up and you get 1 free shot like power slap.
Never forget. Magnus Carlsen's one. I think he only has 1 loss.
Yeah.
To an Indian. This is how he moves.
Hey.
Let's go. Represent Shriek.
But I think Jai Herbert's going to test Sola without, throwing him straight to the wolves. I don't think like Ribovic will be fun, but I'm not going to lie. Esteban Ribovic would probably smoke Axel Sola. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I feel like chess boxing's an actual sport.
Yeah, wait. What?
Yeah, it is. Did you not? Oh, I thought you. I thought you.
I did not know
it's
that.
An actual sport. Yeah, that's a real thing.
Oh.
You didn't know that? Damn.
I was like thinking about.
Oh no, that's no joke. That's a real thing, dude.
I thought we were just like making up a nice little scenario where we could make a chess boxing. I didn't think there was actually.
Oh no, it's a full-on sport.
Shriek,
1 round chess, 1 round boxing. You're trolling me. This is not a real sport.
This is a real sport. I'm dead serious.
I'm being rage baited.
Okay, wait. So if you win,
someone give me proof. Hey, send me a link. Send me a link in the comments.
Can you send a link in the chat, Vinayak? I'm trying to see that. So wait, if you win,
you're rage baiting me right now.
If you win if you win in the chess round, like, do you just win the whole thing? And then if you win,
so is it like, okay, I knocked your pawn out. Now are we like scrapping? Like what how does this work?
Chess boxing rules.
Shriek, we gotta listen to The Mystery of Chess Boxing by the Wu-Tang Clan. I've never heard that song.
6 3-minute rounds of chess and
I don't think that was the name
rounds of boxing. Separated by 1 minute.
You can get checkmate or KO'd. That's crazy.
How does that even work? Nah, I'm being trolled. How does that even work?
Dude, it's a real thing, dude. It's crazy.
My question is, Sam, how have you found out about it? Like, how did you get onto chess?
Dude, I'm a sicko on YouTube. I see the most random stuff.
That is wild.
It's like
that's a shock to me.
That's something I'm gonna look up.
No, chess boxing's like a full-on real thing.
Hey, Cesar, we're getting into Caio Borralho in a little bit, bro. Stick around. We're gonna get to it.
Few minutes.
I'm still stuck on this chess boxing. I need a link.
Last thing before we move on to some of these next fights. here, this is what it looks like. This is an image of chess boxing. If you want to pull that,
I was gonna say I don't want to play a video so we don't get copyrighted.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play a video, but this is
time out.
You're trolling me, bro.
That's in the arena too. That's in a box.
Oh wait, no, those aren't gloves. I'm an idiot. Those are wraps.
Those are wraps, and they put the gloves.
Imagine you could take off, like, you had gloves that you could, like, move the piece.
Bro, it's essentially bare knuckle boxing. Bare knuckle chess.
No, you put on your gloves after you're in the chess round. You're done with the chess round.
Why? Okay, Axel Solo would go crazy.
All right, real question, then let's move on because we're rambling. But do you think there are people?
They've been 17 years of chess boxing?
Dude, that's like almost older than us. Do you think there are people who do that, but they're just so good at chess and don't know how to box that they're just like, yo, straight up, I'm just going to beat you before you could even kill me?
Yeah.
Nah, because there's no way. Because if they would have known, they would have just picked one or the other. That's crazy. That is the biggest rebel. I think that's an even crazier shock to me than BSD and Hoof.
Imagine playing chess with, like, the nastiest concussion ever. Like, that must be crazy, bro. Your brain is just screaming for help.
Yeah, that is wild.
It's crazy.
All right, and enough about the chess boxing. Let's get to Mason Jones. This guy has absolute plot armor on his chin, bro.
Yeah, it's not fair, bro. He's cheating. He's taking PEDs.
Like, don't even bother trying to knock out this guy with power shots. He literally eats them for breakfast. That first round, legit round of the year contender.
I agree,
in my opinion. And that takedown in round 2 might be one of the slickest takedowns I've ever seen.
Yeah, nasty trip.
But Mason Jones is now 17-2, and honestly, that's wild. That's a really good record. Balaji did everything right. He landed clean, still couldn't put him away. Look, that wasn't just anyone in that cage, man. That was Mason freaking Jones. So yeah, that was a firefight of all firefights. But there's one guy that was bred for it, and it was Mason Jones.
Definitely. Absolutely. I mean, it was crazy because Oki kind of started that fight winning. It felt like he had a dominant, like, he had him on the ground, he had him in everything, and then Mason Jones just comes back and wins. And it was kind of like it felt. I did not see that happening. We'll put it that. I had Mason Jones winning. I did not see him coming back. But you talk about the grit in the UFC. You got to have it, and Mason Jones does, especially in such a stacked lightweight division. We talk about this all the time. Having that grit is a huge thing.
Yeah, definitely. I was screaming at my TV because I also picked Balaji Oki, and for the first 3 minutes, that looked like a great pick. It really did. Look, I think Balaji Oki, obviously, he has a few things to clean up, but I don't think he should be discouraged from that performance, because if that was anyone else other than Mason Jones, they would be dead on the floor, face down. And it just so happens that these Welsh guys, they just build them different over there. I don't know what's in the water, but something has to be something. But yeah, I mean, Mason Jones, great comeback. The one thing, I didn't think that his knockdown, it was scored a knockdown. I didn't think it was a knockdown. I thought Balaji Oki got punched and he got staggered. And when he backed up, he tripped on the fence. Regardless, it doesn't matter at all. But I think it was a great fight. Balaji Oki, if he just threw straight punches, he would have knocked him out. I'm still on that. Like, he was throwing too many looping punches, trying to go for just like the absolute highlight reel finish. And it's kind of like, I don't know if you guys remember that Dustin Poirier-Chandler fight. Chandler had Poirier dead to rights, and Poirier said the only reason he didn't knock me out is because he was throwing looping punches instead of just throwing straight crosses and jabs. And I think that was the same thing for Balaji Oki. Like, your chin can be strong, but if you take 10 crosses and jabs from Balaji Oki, you're not standing. And I think Mason Jones was just able to let it like roll off his shoulders and things like that. But regardless, came back. He's an amazing wrestler. And I think Balaji Oki kind of messed up when he tried to take down Mason Jones, because in his Octagon interview, he said, he basically said he wanted to wrestle. So I was like, let's wrestle. It's like, you can't give him that, bro. Like, you know it's gonna happen. But and the other thing, his finishing sequence, even though Oki was bobbing and weaving, obviously he was still getting hit, not like completely not completely like flush, but Mason Jones, he's an MMA fighter. He has high IQ. If you just keep pouring it on, even if they're bobbing and weaving like that, he can't get out of it. So just make it look like you're, really doing a bunch of damage, which he probably was. But yeah, great fight from Mason Jones. And if you guys are Mason Jones fans, and you want to see one of his 2 losses, I mean, the Ludovic Klein loss was nah. His fight against Mike Davis in 2021 was a crazy fight. Go back and watch that if you have Fight Pass, ESPN Plus. It might even be on YouTube, but he is not the same fighter from there, and he still had an iron chin in that fight. He took so much damage, and it's carried over for a bunch of years. So shout out to Mason Jones. So, I'm kind of mad at you for not letting me win my lone wolf, but you put on a great performance, and it's great to see.
For one of lone wolves would have been good.
Yeah, it's great to see you back. So it was a good.
Absolutely. I have to head out, unfortunately, boys. This is part of the reason we're doing it live. But I want to give some quick thoughts before on the final 3 fights. I'm glad we sped through this. Could make this quick. Bukauskas, dominant win.
Dog.
Paul Craig retired. Great career. Clap for you. Bukauskas is one away from a ranked shot. I don't know if it'll be within the rankings or someone without the rankings, but if he wins that fight, he's a ranked fighter. So give him that shot in a loaded welterweight division. His stock is high. Buy it now. BSD, I apologize, man. My God, what a performance against Rufi. Rufi needs to go back to the drawing board and figure out what in the world went wrong, because that did not look like Mauricio Rufi. BSD dominated that fight. Give him Gamrot. I think we mentioned a comment earlier about Gamrot. He's unbooked right now. I think you do that. You could. He mentioned MSG. I don't hate it. That's a very quick turnaround.
Oh yes, I get to see him.
Yeah, you have so much momentum if you're BSD right now. I don't blame you wanting to take that. You took barely any damage against Rufi. You can fight whatever, man. He's ready. He proved me wrong. I have a lot more respect for BSD after tonight. This was the win that I'm like, oh, maybe he actually is legit. You had the guys before like Poirier. That was a fraud. Like he got fraud checked by Poirier, quote unquote. He loses to Moicano, and then he comes out and beats Houfi. I mean, come on, man. Fantastic win for you. Imavov Caio, fight of the night easily. I had Imavov, so
give the house.
I had to do that real quick.
I was going to say give the house. You deserve that one.
I had to do that real quick. Was this fight worthy of a title shot against Khamzat Chimaev? Absolutely. He is ready for Khamzat. I think it's going to be a good fight. I do think Khamzat would win that fight still, but that's also because he's Khamzat. But Imavov is going to give him a good run for his money. The stat, I wanted also one stat. This would be the first, and this kind of blew my mind. This, if it was Imavov and Khamzat, this would be the first title fight between 2 Muslim fighters. That's a crazy stat.
Wow.
Yeah, which I think that's A, big for the sport, and B, that's super impressive. Like the Arab world really is into this UFC. Obviously, we all know.
Oh, that would have to be in Abu Dhabi.
Hey, shout out to the Arab world.
Yeah. And I mentioned maybe you put that fight on the Abu Dhabi card. I don't think you do that now because considering they have 2 title fights. But maybe you do that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they want to go to Saudi Arabia in February, put a pay-per-view there. They still haven't done that yet. Try to put that fight in Abu Dhabi. I understand we have Fluffy and RDR coming up, but I kind of see this like we'll do the Khamzat Chimaev situation again last time. He beats Robert Whittaker. They give Sean Strickland the title shot because he fought first and he was promised the title shot. Same thing with Imavov. I think you give Imavov the title shot against Khamzat Chimaev. Afterwards, you go RDR Fluffy winner facing the winner of that fight. And RDR and Fluffy can wait. Unless they really want to fight again, which would only damage them, they can wait. Those are my final thoughts, boys. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you, Sam.
For staying on.
I'm staying on. Hey, wait, yeah, I'm not piecing out. Me and Chris are staying on here.
Stay tuned for these guys because they're going to give some in-depth analysis on these fights. That was my quick rant. I appreciate you. The hell of you, boys. I will see
you, Sam.
On
Catch you, Sam.
Have a good and safe night. Be safe.
Yes, sir. You guys as well. Take care.
Fun. I know you
Peace
will.
Out, man. All righty.
All right. Now that Sam's gone, let's talk bad about him behind his back.
You naughty boy, you naughty boy.
Naughty boy.
Sam is like we can see him on StreamYard right now. We're just seeing him at the bottom, just giving us the finger. But
it's all love in the war room. We love you, Sam. I hope you join back just to talk about that.
But where were we? Mason Jones. Hey, look, man. I think it's Sam's hair looks horrible. Don't tell.
What?
Vinayak said Sam's hair was horrible.
Yo, Vinayak, shout out to you, bro. You tune in every live stream.
Yeah,
bro.
real. Yeah.
I know you
Vinayak is a real OG of the war room.
OG. Thank you, bro.
I think for Mason Jones, it's time to throw him into the fire a bit. I know you're gonna like. There's no way you don't like this fight. Let's do Mason Jones versus Elvis Brenner.
Oh my God.
Elvis Brenner. He's been in some absolute wars, and I think stylistically this one could be chaos. If both guys are healthy and want to turn it around fast, I think this would be perfect on the Qatar card, low key.
Yeah,
this could be a certified banger.
I think that's like the same thing as like Ribovics.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
Even Mason. Oh my God, even Mason Jones versus Ribovics. That would be a great fight too.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of routes that you can go.
But Mason Jones has inserted himself with that kind of lightweight tier where it's like, okay, we got Brenner, we got Ribovic, we got Duncan, we got Rebecca. Like the guys who are always going to give you like a guaranteed banger.
Right. And he really should. I mean, he 17-2. His loss to Ludovic Klein, obviously, that wasn't the best. The Mike Davis loss was his first actual fight in the UFC. So you got to think about that. Goes back to Cage Warriors. 4 straight wins, and Cage Warriors is not an easy promotion. So I think it's impressive to me, man.
Stop nut hugging these UFC fighters and get in a BJJ gym and become a fighter. All yous are acting like betas. Well, James, we're commenting on our live, so you're nut hugging us, and I guess that makes you the beta too. So I think that we appreciate the comment.
Yeah, wait. I mean, are you in a BJJ gym? I'd love to take you up.
Hey, I've openly admitted it. If I go in a BJJ gym, I'm getting cooked. I'm getting cooked.
I practice BJJ.
I just enjoy the sport. I just love the game.
But the love of the game.
Hey, any more thoughts on Mason Jones?
No, I think he's trending in a good direction. And obviously, like I said before on the predictions, Jeremy Stephens is Jeremy Stephens, but this was a very good performance against a surging prospect in Balaji Oki. So props to you, Mason Jones. Sorry I picked against you. You got it, bro. You always had my respect, though. I never disrespected you.
All right, featured bout Modestas Bukauskas.
Oh, dude, that elbow was nasty.
What a knockout. That was exactly the kind of moment he needed to break into the rankings. I know Sam said, he needs one more before he gets into the rankings, but I'm like, bro, after that,
he looked like in the best shape of his life. Like I've never seen him look like that ever since he came back from injury from your boy Khalil. That nasty, oh my gosh, bro, that kick, that was so disgusting. He's looked great. And I didn't realize that his father's in his corner too. I didn't know his father's trained him his whole life, Modestas. So yeah, he looked great.
That's fire. Khabib, Aspinall, and now we're seeing Bukauskas, where you have your dad in the corner.
Yeah,
makes a difference.
I like it. I feel like it's just like tough. Like, I mean, obviously we don't have kids, but I feel like it would be like, if your son or daughter loses and gets knocked out brutally, it's like, no, like I feel like that's terrible, right? But you build them up, you train with them for those moments, and you're just a proud parent to see them in the octagon. So yeah, he looked great, and honestly, I'm glad that Paul Craig laid down the gloves after, because he's trending in the wrong direction really fast, and instead of, suffering all that damage and, lessening your quality of life for the future, I think just hang it up now and go do BJJ, man. That's like a non-contact sport. I mean, it's a contact sport, but a non-brain trauma sport. You don't need that. But buzzer beater. That was crazy.
That's it for Paul Craig, man. There was something poetic and sad, obviously, about how it ended. Paul Craig has always been the guy who bets everything on one move, and that's pulling guard. Literally, he bets everything on one position. Right. And this time, it caught up to him. He was in there pulling guard, and he got knocked out at the buzzer. Props to Modestas for staying composed and cashing in, man. So Modestas has 6 wins in his last 7. I think he's finally ready for a top 15 spot. I think this is the win where he gets into the rankings.
Agreed. Very much.
Nikita Krylov still got a number by his name.
Do it.
Even after a couple of knockout losses, I feel like this is the right time to test Bukauskas at that level. I think Nikita Krylov versus Modestas Bukauskas is your next move. Paul Craig versus Diaz in boxing. Diaz can make 200. Do not put Paul Craig in a boxing match. Jeez.
Yeah, please.
Oh my God. That'd be.
I would love to see Paul Craig versus like Craig Jones. The Craigs.
Yeah.
Craig versus Craig.
But nah, Diaz would kill him in a boxing match.
Yeah, Diaz would smoke him.
But who knows, man? Honestly, yeah, Diaz would smoke him.
I was going to mention the Mike Tyson Floyd boxing match. That's a whole different conversation that we can get into later. We can do a whole episode on why that.
We'll get into it on maybe the Noche recap, because we'll also add in a little Canelo Crawford recap after that.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, Canelo Crawford Saturday, September 13th, next Saturday. We'll definitely be talking about that. And thank you, Dana White, for scheduling Noche early in the day so we can all watch and have
just bleed right in. And it's good for TKO. It had to happen. So
exactly. And I mean, everyone's eyes are going to be on Canelo versus Crawford, and Bud looks massive right now. Dude has like a 12-pack. I was like, you could do that? Like, you could have that? I was like, why can't I have that? I just like food a little too much. A little hungry guy. But yeah, credit to Paul Craig for stepping in there one final time. I don't know if he won, if he would have kept going or that was planned. I'm assuming it was planned.
Yeah, it was probably planned.
He probably wanted to go out like in Europe because he's Scottish, so kind of the same area, like I said, regional stuff. But yeah, Modestas, man, you're going to be good, bro. They need to watch out for you. You're huge too. Massive.
Let's get into this co-main.
No. Roofy.
BSD is back. Just when it felt like he was sliding down the rankings, he goes out and dominates one of the scariest prospects in the division. I'll be honest. I counted him out. After the way Kyle Prepelec tagged him up, I thought Hoofy would drown him. But BSD flipped the script. He found the grappling and completely rattled Hoofy. There were no traps, no feints, no slick setups, just raw pressure and execution. Hoofy had no answers. That was a massive rebound for Saint-Denis and a humbling lesson for Hoofy. I'll say that. One guy leveled up, the other got exposed. That's the way I agree.
And Shrikar, I like inadvertently it kind of alluded to it on the predictions. And what did I say? I said no one's
because I was like, the only way BSD is going to win this is if he resorts to wrestling early and putting damage on Hoofy early.
That's what I said.
Really rattle this guy. And then you said, I want to see him tested in the grappling. And
BSD, he must have heard me. I might have been like a little birdie in his ear. But that was really the test that I wanted to see for Hoofy. And he did okay. Like, he really didn't do bad. It's just BSD's pressure was just so immense, and he's just such a swarming presence. He laid on him like a blanket. And even when Hoofy was, first of all, Hoofy did a great job of rolling through some of the takedowns and the grappling exchanges, like getting the whizzer, things like that, and then eventually ending on top. But he let BSD stand up. And then BSD was able to just go right back into his strong suit. So, yeah, I mean, that was exactly the test that I wanted to see from Hoofy, or for Hoofy. And obviously, now that we know, it's kind of like a thing to go back to the gym and really test. So I was impressed with BSD, and I really counted him out. So I think he deserves some respect for that. And yeah.
I made $60 on BSD winning.
BSD, you're a dog, bro. How do you keep doing this?
Good stuff, man. I can't lie. Hoofy was the last leg of like 2 of my legs. So that absolutely cooked me. Hoofy tricked people with that Bobby Green knockout.
Yeah.
I don't think he tricked people. He's still really good. The way I was looking at it was like, okay, he's training with the fighting nerds. He's training with the gym that's
I got a special guest for you.
Yo, it's
Luke Fain in the building.
Yes.
How you doing, man?
It's great. It's an honor to be on here.
Did you bet on the event today?
No, I didn't.
We're getting him on the podcast for gambling analysis.
Who was the main fight?
Nassourdine Imavov versus Caio Borralho. Yeah, he doesn't know who those are.
Yeah, I'm too big of a casual.
He's a casual,
next
but
week-
he reads the money.
Next week, throw money on John Silva.
Yeah, I'll tell you who to throw money on. The guy,
But no, I don't-
the guy barks at his opponents.
But I don't think Hoofy tricked people, man. I think the striking was obviously there. I got tricked into thinking that his wrestling and grappling was already good because he trains with the Fighting Nerds. Like Damian Maya's grappling coach is their lead trainer. Like I felt like there at least be some semblance of wrestling and grappling that he took away from being as a part of that camp. But obviously BSD is different. He just brought the pressure. And I do agree with Sam. I think, BSD is back on track, riding that momentum. It's time we finally get him in there with Mateusz Gamrot. That fight's been cooking for way too long. I think it has to happen now.
I think BSD would smoke him.
Honestly, make it the main event for another Europe fight night. Whether it's Paris, whether it's Warsaw, wherever you want to go with it, it's going to bang. And I think it should be 5 rounds. Hopefully they don't put it in the Apex. Huh?
They need to get that Polish card going. The Poland card.
Yeah, this is the perfect time to do a BSD and Gamrot 5-round main event in Poland on a fight night. And then they just set up Jan Blachowicz and Bogdan Guskov. That could have been your co-main. That would have been perfect.
Definitely.
And Jan, if he lost that fight, would have retired in Poland with his people.
Send BSD to MSG. I'm trying to see him. I want to see him fight. He's a dog.
That's a possibility too, as long as it's Gamrot, though.
Did you see how pissed Protest was after that fight? Dude, he was storming around like a madman. He was like, whatever he was doing. He looked really mad.
Because they're brothers, man. They're literally family. Like if I saw my family lose like that, like I'd be so heated. Especially yesterday at the ceremonial weigh-ins, Protest got into it with Imavov's manager.
Ooh,
so
I did not know that.
He was really hoping, Brazil would make it.
He was preying on France's downfall the entire night.
But it's tough, man. Both the Fighting Nerds lost.
Now, with the Hoofy loss, I think this is the time to set up Michael Chandler.
Honestly, I think Hoofy losing.
Or actually, wait.
I think that Chandler fight lost steam.
Yeah, probably. Or
honestly, what about Hoofy versus Slava Claus?
Nah, I feel like that's just a little too far down.
But you have to give him someone that's winnable. You have to keep building his hype again.
No, you know what they should do? Hoofy versus Chase Hooper.
Chase Hooper's gonna die.
I mean,
or
Roofy gets submitted. I'm telling you, look, he just lost to a grappler. Give him another grappler and see where his progression is.
I want to give him a striker. You have to build him back up again. Because if he loses to Hooper, you're losing the hype on the best prospect in the lightweight division.
Also that gym. All right, so now that we're talking about the gym, or I just mentioned the gym, should we segue into Caio?
Yeah, let's get into it. I'll let you go first.
Yeah. Oh, dude. I mean, Imavov looked really good. He looked good. He was really good before, don't get me wrong, but I feel like I've never seen him look like that. Like he looked like he was angry and trying to prove a point the entire time. He might have some of the fastest hands in the UFC, and he's a middleweight, which is scary. This dude is crisp, powerful. He has good IQ, great wrestling. He defended every takedown. Every time Caio shot, it was just like instant sprawl. And his balance is amazing too. Caio tripped him, I believe, like twice. He fell to his knee and got up within the second. This guy is ready for everything. I think no matter what happens with RDR and Fluffy, unless someone goes out there and just straight up flatline each other, I think Imavov has made himself pretty much undeniable for that title shot.
Before I get into it, let me read these comments. Yeah. Chandler wants a White House fight, Connor or not. He is going to fight at White House, retire. You know my thoughts on the White House card. Do you think there's an argument for Caio winning 1, 3, and 5? I only think there is an argument for 3.
I would say 3 and maybe 1 if you just count volume over power.
I do think, though, man, I could watch Imavov and Borralho
5
run it back.
No way. I don't think he came close to winning 5.
I could watch Imavov and Borralho run it back every month and never get tired of it.
Yeah,
I think that
awesome.
No, I do think. Actually, you know what? Now I think about it, that fight was razor close heading into round 5. I thought there was a good argument for 2-2.
Yeah, no.
I think it's definitely closer than the judges made it seem. Like, I don't think it was a 50-45.
Really? I thought the only ones that I would like, I gave Caio 3. 50-45. I don't know what judge scored at that. There's like he won one round. Like there's no way. But I think the only other round that I would give him is like maybe one, maybe. And that's just because technically it was more volume, but the power was on Imavov's side. Like he was landing more powerful strikes and had, I mean, obviously there wasn't damage per se, but they were the more damaging shots. Caio's were just a lot of like feeler shots. Like I'm just going to throw a teep kick here and there, leg kick.
No, but Caio was kind of landing with some of them.
He was, but I think Caio just turned it up a little too late. If he got into a firefight earlier, I think he would have had a better chance. He just let Imavov kind of run away with it and then put himself in the position that he had to make up ground instead of kind of running step for step with Imavov.
Yeah, I still think they got it right. Imavov just edged ahead with more consistent work. And for now,
I agree.
It looks like we've got ourselves a new title challenger at middleweight. But Imavov looked sharp, fast hands, and stayed locked into the striking without overcomplicating things. That discipline paid off. But I do think Caio had his moments. There were spots where I really wanted to see him let it go with those combos after slipping the counters. Still, he showed he belongs. In my eyes, he's absolutely a future title contender too. I don't think I lost any stock in him. And honestly, I don't think this will be the last time we see Imavov and Borralho share the cage. I think they could easily rematch.
They could run it back.
So with the belt changing hands, obviously it feels like perfect timing to throw him in there with the boogeyman himself, Khamzat Chimaev. That's the fight to make right now. But I do think the only wrinkle is Hernandez versus RDR, because I think Imavov left it out there that whoever wins that fight, they might force their way into the conversation.
Yeah, but I feel like they have to forcefully take it. Like they can't coast to a decision. They need a finish. You could argue Imavov should have gotten a point deducted. Like, yes, I was kind of on that wave because Caio should have stayed down. That's just not in him, man. You could tell that he was going to go regardless, and he knew that was the way out, and he's just such a dog that he's not going to do that.
It was a pretty brutal eye.
Oh, it was bad. Right. I think personally a point should have been taken. He did it twice, and even though there aren't warnings explicitly given, that is something that they tell you in the locker room, just like a cage grab. Like a cage grab should be an instant point deduction. You know you're not supposed to do that, and if you do it, there should not be a warning for that. The first one for an eye poke, yes, I'll give that. That should be like, okay, that's an accident. So, because in the heat of battle, like you're not consciously like, oh, I need to tuck my my fists or whatever, or tuck my fingers and make a fist. But the second one was bad. He was just straight up feeling out there, and he really dug it into Caio's eye. So I think even if there was a point deduction, he still would have won anyway. So it really wouldn't have done too much. But I was on that wave too. I think there should have been a point taken.
And next up for Caio, I think he should fight Brendan Allen. I think that's going to be the next step.
I know who you're rooting for, Shrikar.
Caio's going to
Brendan Allen. No, I'm joking.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Caio is going to smoke Brendan Allen.
Oh yeah, well he's going to be pissed after this fight.
Yeah. If they set that up, I'm probably taking Caio by I think he could finish. I think he could finish Brendan Allen low key. Caio versus Izzy won't be bad. Maybe, but I think Izzy wants someone bigger because he knows he has only
Izzy has Cole
left. Yeah. Caio and Izzy would be a pretty close fight though. I think I'd give it to Caio, slight lean, but yeah, overall rough night for the fighting nerds.
Wow.
But here's the thing. For all those people who are saying the fighting nerds are done, completely disagree. I completely disagree. Both Hoofy and Caio are going to come back stronger from this. Same way Carlos Prates came back strong. They take the lessons, they apply it, and they come back. Fighting nerds now 20-3. That's still really good. Yeah, that is really, really good.
Don't worry.
That doesn't resemble anything close to being done. So
John Silva's getting their get back next week. So
Yeah,
don't
so
worry.
John Silva's getting it back in blood.
He's
Fighting
about-
nerds aren't
he's
even
gonna
close
bark
to
in
getting
everyone's
down.
face.
100%. And we'll be back. I think that's a good spot to kind of close it out. That was our UFC Paris recap. We're going to end the stream here, but Tuesday, we're going to be back on live, breaking down Contender Series. If we get any firefight announcements, we'll do that, or we do another Q&A. I'm not going to have the same special guests on. I mean, sadly or fortunately, whichever one you look at.
Yes, don't worry.
Yeah, but Noche, Saturday. Maybe we'll slip in a Canelo Crawford prediction with our normal Noche predictions.
Definitely.
I think that'd be fun to do.
I think we should.
So we'll do both. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you guys for tuning in. From the MMA War Room, Chris Schroyer, I'm Shrikar Rajendran saying so long. We'll see you guys next time.